Hey guys, it's Terry with the Quarter Acre, and today I just wanted to share with you a little bit about how I organize my The Good and the Beautiful Human Body Science Unit Study. I saw on one of my favorite Facebook groups that some people had questions on how to organize this study, and it's got a lot of different parts and things which might be a little bit overwhelming, but there is a really simple, easy way to get it all put together so that it's just open and go on the days that you do science. So let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so this is my big red binder. I always go with a 1.5 or 2-inch binder, and I like to keep them all red so I can easily grab science units. I can identify them really easily. I start off first thing by finding the mini books that come with the curriculum, and I use those first. So I cut those out first and put them here in the front so they're just out of the way and I don't have to deal with those. Next up, I hole punch everything and put it into the binder. Some people use page protectors. I think that's a lot of work. Then I go to my supplies needed list, or I go down the list and I highlight anything that I know I don't have at home so that I can make one trip to Dollar Tree. With everything being so crazy right now, I don't want to be running back and forth to the stores. So it's just easier if I gather what I already have and then add in everything from the store. And then I use these handy little totes from the Dollar Tree, and they aren't the strongest. I found stronger ones on Amazon that I'm going to link below, and I love these little shiplap labels, very Chip and Joanna Gaines. So I use these, and I put everything for that week for the science experiments and projects in these so that I don't have to go scrounging for it. So on the science day, I'm ready to roll. Okay, and so you'll notice that this isn't highlighted. I like to make a copy of the supplies needed list and highlight that. So then I can take it with me to the store. I don't have to worry about wrinkling or folding it up or highlighting and crossing things out. And I can still keep this nice pristine copy. Put everything else in order, and I use these little tabs to separate each lesson, and each lesson also gets a zipping pencil pouch full and I cut the vocabulary out and fill it with that. I like to use the ones that have the grommets and a really heavy-duty zipper, otherwise they just kind of disintegrate. And I switch these out, so when we're done with human body, I will empty all of this information out, put it in one bag in the front of the binder, and transfer these into my next science unit. I do the same thing with these, so I don't have to repurchase them and write them out every time. So the kids, I hand them half of the vocabulary to one kid and half of the vocabulary to the other kid, so that they can both be copying at the same time and then they swap. That way it just moves faster. I don't have to put everything up on the board and they're not looking up and down, up and down. They can just copy it straight across and both be working simultaneously. It seems to go much faster that way. So then the lesson is open and go because I have all of my goodies right there. I do all the printables. I make copies of all of the note pages. Let me see. And put them in both of the kids' binders, and I'll show you that in a minute. Once again, any vocabulary, or if there's like a game, I'll put that all in there. And I do that for every section. If all the vocabulary is on one big thing like this, like in lesson 4, I'll just hole punch it and put it in here because it would do more damage to fold this up to put it into a pencil pouch. So that's how I organize my science binder. Let me show you how I organize the kids. So this is my daughter's. I'm not going to show you the whole page because it's got her name on it, but this is what the first grade work looks like. So she does the vocabulary, but she just writes the word instead of doing the whole definition because that would be way above her skill level. And, you know, we walked through this together, so she was able to do that. Once again, there's the different vocabulary words. When it comes to muscle groups, I just kind of let her do her thing here because, once again, she is in the first grade. The fact that she was able to write out all of the different vocabulary things that I asked her to do was pretty awesome to me. So this is kind of just a quick walkthrough. This was a fun craft for all of us, showing the oxygenated blood and then the blood that needed to be oxygenated, or is that the proper term? I hope it is, otherwise I sound kind of silly. And then we studied the brain and the spinal cord and all that good stuff. So that's where we left off. We're going to be doing the digestive system this week, which is going to be pretty fun. And she'll draw models and things like that, but instead of writing definitions, she just draws the model out. So that's my daughters. Now let's look at my son, who's in 7th grade. So he has his human body vocabulary here at the front that he's been copying down, making his own kind of human body dictionary. Here is his worksheets and then his additional notes. So because he's in 7th grade, he does the extensions and the little additional things, and that's one of the reasons I give him the tabs here for each section, because he usually has more paperwork. So that's how we do it. That's how we set up our Good and the Beautiful human body units. The kids have their individual binders, and I've got mine. We get all of our supplies put here. We already did week 6, so this one's empty. If you're wondering why it's empty, you don't just need tape for week 6. The only other thing I wanted to share with you is we decided to do a supplement from Teachers Pay Teachers to go along with it. Now, it doesn't really teach you anything. There's no educational information, but it gives you printables that are pretty awesome. So I'm going to take you on a little walk here. You can hear my kids playing out in the backyard. This is our youngest. We traced her out, and we had these great printables from Teachers Pay Teachers, and you can see she's got a brain behind that skull. And as we've learned about each system, we've added the different pieces that have come with this kit. Now, we didn't utilize it the way that they utilized it. They had behind this upper flap, you would lift it up and there'd be lined paper and the kids could write all about the organ. I felt like that was a little repetitive since we had already been writing in our science binders. So we're just coloring them, cutting them out, and putting them on, and then adding our own drawings of like the veins, the oxygenated blood, the blood going back to get more oxygen in the places that they connect. The yellow nerves, the spinal column, and eventually those pieces will be connected to the parts that they control. And which my son was like, oh, now I understand why Superman is paralyzed, but he can still talk, because that's not the part that controls his body, or it controls his mouth. And so that was really cool. It's neat to see the kids make the connections, and that really happens when we do these hands-on activities. Originally, I had this taped to the window behind the sliding door, and that just did not work out. So I used this awesome $3 Target dollar spot clippy thing that you could totally make yourself. And I might, if they don't have them again in the fall, because I need more, I might just go ahead and make myself like a set of 4 of them, because they are great for hanging art to dry and things like that. I sure hope that you found this video useful, and if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe, and let me know what is your favorite science unit that you've done with your kiddos. Whether it's Good and Beautiful or another science unit, let me know what your favorite is. All right, I'm gonna go referee my hooligans who have somehow found the water squirters from last summer and are torturing each other with them. Any mommies, can you relate? You leave your kids alone for 5 minutes and that's what happens. All right, I hope you have a great day. Be blessed.